everyone, I'm Subrata Krishnan and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the book that I want to reread, but I want to read it for the first time. What I mean to say is that I want to reread these books, but I want to feel, the same feeling that I felt when I read it for the first time, except that it's not possible because I know the stories of these books now, so, it wouldn't have the same impact, like the element of surprise is lost, obviously. So yeah, I just wish I could reread these books for the first time again. Yeah, I think that should be the, title of this, what is this called? Video. So the first book that I'm going to talk about, like any other book lover, is obviously the Harry Potter series. I only started reading this series after my engagement, and I finished it after my wedding. It took like a lot of time, like what, 4 or 5 months, because I really wanted to savor it. From the very first time, from the very first book, this is actually not the first book, this is the second book in the series. I have no idea where I kept my first book, so I just grabbed the first book that I could find in the series. So yeah, I have wanted to read the series for a long time, because like even before I started reading books at all, I wanted to own the whole series before starting the first book, because once I started, I just knew that I couldn't like stop in the middle of the series. And I don't know, thankfully my blessed friend, he gifted me the whole series. I mean, if you don't have a friend who gifts you books, especially like a series of books like that has like what, 7 books. He also sent me the, what is the one, Cursed Child, which means 8 books in a series. If you don't have a friend like that, I mean, I don't know, I'm not gonna finish that sentence, but I have a friend like that and he is the best. You know who you are, so thank you so much. And for these 3 years, I've been rereading this series like every year. So if you're someone who doesn't know about this series is about Harry Potter, a 11-year-old boy who on his 11th birthday gets told that he is a wizard by a hairy, amazing man who, again, I will hold on to the rest of my life, is one of the important characters in the series. To think about it, every character in the series plays a vital role. That is the best thing about the series. It's so detailed. If you're someone who hasn't read the series, but if you're still thinking about reading it, I highly recommend to mute this video for like next 10 seconds or 12 seconds, because I'm going to talk about a huge spoiler starting now. So when I read this series for the first time, I knew that Dumbledore dies. He dies in the 6th book, but I knew that when I was reading the 2nd book, because my husband, he was like, I just told him that I was reading the series and he was like, oh, that elf one, right? Yeah, Dobby, he dies, and then Dumbledore dies, and then Snape dies. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was actually freaking out, like literally I was freaking out. So this book, like left me with a lot of, I don't know, thoughts and feelings and everything. I felt a lot of mixed feelings when I read it for the first time. This book is actually very thought-provoking. There are a lot of amazing sentences that Dumbledore says that will just make you question your whole existence and make you rethink the whole life and every choice that you made in your life. So this is actually a middle grade novel, but this is for everyone. It will just leave everyone in awe. It's such it's really a gem. And even if you're a beginner, you can actually pick it up. Like if you're a beginner as a reader, or if you're just stepping into the fantasy genre, this is actually a very good place to start. So yeah, I really wish I could read this for the first time. So the next book I'm going to talk about is the Percy Jackson series. This is actually again not the first book in the series. It is not even from the first series. This is from the 2nd series, and this is my friend's book, and she's going to kill me because she's been asking for this book for so long now. And I mean actually I want to give this back, but I don't know, the situation just hasn't arisen, I guess. So this book again is about a boy named Percy Jackson. He just comes to know that he's a demigod all of a sudden, and his life changes from that point. So he is actually the son of Poseidon, the sea god. That is not a spoiler. There are like 5 books in the series. This is actually the 2nd series called Heroes of Olympus. The first series is called the what is it called? Percy Jackson and the Olympians, I guess. So there are 5 books in that series, and then there are 5 books in this series. This series is actually a mix of Roman and Greek mythology, but the first series is just all about Greek mythology, and it is wonderful. Like if you're someone who loves mythology, if you're someone especially who loves Greek mythology, Rick Riordan is the man for you. He has written a lot of Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Roman mythology, a lot of mythology. So yeah, pick it up. Again, I remember reading this series for the first time. I have read all the 10 books, and I also have read the Kane Chronicles. My friend, actually the same friend who is the owner of this book, she was the one to recommend me this book, like this series, and she actually was very kind enough to lend me the whole series and was like, read it and you will love it, just read it, you know. And I was like, okay. I was not really, you know, like expecting much when I went into the series, but once I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. It was so gripping. Again, this series has a lot of, you know, like this life-altering quotes from a lot of people, actually, because I mean, they are basically gods. So this is a middle grade novel again, but as I said, this also can be read by anyone. If you're a 12-year-old, this is the perfect one for you. If you're 20, still perfect. If you're 90, you will love it. It was like I was going on an adventure with you know, Percy and Annabeth and Grover, and it was really nice. And the creatures especially, oh my god, there are a lot of amazing and weird creatures, you know, that we read about in this book. I mean, the whole series. Some creatures actually freak me out. Like when you see a creature, you know, some weird creature on screen and you dream about it, and when you know, freak out, that is like totally different. But when you just read about it and you freak out, like, you know, and when you just think about the creature and you be like, ugh, that is scary, you know, that is actually, that says how well written the, you know, the book is. Like Rick Riordan is one of the best authors out there. So my mythology lovers, beginners, whoever you are, if you're even thinking about starting the habit of reading, I highly recommend you to start here. Well, this or the Harry Potter series, whatever you like. If you like magic, go for Harry Potter. If you like mythology, go for Percy Jackson. So speaking of mythologies, I have another book. I mean, this is actually an Indian mythology, a Hindu mythology, and that is The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. This is my third book by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. I have already read Sister of Two Hearts and its sequel, The Wine of Desires. I loved both of them. I read those books when I was in college, I guess. I mean, when I was doing my B.Ed, and one of my friends, again, oh my god, I have some amazing friends. One of my friends, she lent me the book. I actually loved it so much. Chitra Banerjee is one of those authors who could, you know, make me cry just by, I don't know, writing any words. She could just literally throw all the letters together and, you know, form a, I don't know, a sentence with no semantics at all, with like no syntax at all, and I'd still be like, oh my god, that's so wonderful. Because Chitra Banerjee, she just has the ability to bring life to words, you know, like she is an amazing author. And this book, oh my god, this book left me like, I don't know, I cried like crazy. So this is actually a retelling of Mahabharata. So if you like Mahabharata, if you love Mahabharata, just pick it up. There are a lot of retellings, you know, like out there, like written by a lot of people. I haven't really read a lot of retellings, but I have read this one, and I can say that this one is, this will just transform you to that places, you know, like to the palace and to the, I don't know, experience that Draupadi feels and everything. And one important thing is that this book is actually from Draupadi's point of view. Like this is the story of Mahabharata, the entire story from Draupadi's point of view. Every time we talk about Mahabharata, you know, we only talk about Pandavas or Kauravas or the three brothers, I forgot their name. I just remember one that is Pandu and the others, whatever. So, you know, we only talk about all these men, and we don't even like think about what Draupadi was feeling and what was she thinking and all that. And this book gives an insight. This book tells us that we should be thinking a lot about women. So if you're someone who loves to cry your eyes out, pick this one up. Actually, pick any of Chitra Banerjee's book and you will be like an emotional wreck by the end of the thing, you know, by the end of the book. I promise this book will give you chills. This is like not in a cold horror kind of way, but in a emotional kind of way. I don't know if that makes sense, but yes. Again, speaking of mythology and speaking of Chitra Banerjee, I have another book that is The Forest of Enchantments. This again is a retelling, but this is of what is that story? Ramayana. So this is a retelling of Ramayana from Sita's point of view. So we get to explore a lot about her, you know, her feelings and her thoughts and how she was how she felt when she was left in that place under the tree. What place is that? I forgot. to say it in very, like few words, I just told you that I cried like crazy when I read The Palace of Illusions. Palace of Illusions was nothing compared to this book. Like, oh my god, this is the one book that I cried like crazy, like crazy. This is the one book that had me totally wrecking myself, totally crying myself out, like, like I was exhausted by the end of, like this book, especially for the last 50 pages. I couldn't even read because my eyes were full of tears and the words were blurred and everything, but I struggled and finished this whole book, and I just ran to my grandma. She was living with us back then, and she was watching a what is that called, a drama, and I just ran to her and I just fell, like, I don't know, I just cried like crazy. Like, why did Sita have to go through all this? Like, I mean, she didn't even do anything. All she did was love Rama with her last fiber, but this is what Rama does to her. Why would he even do that? Like, I was actually going crazy, and she was like, this is what happens when you're a woman. I was like, please stop. This is not how you support me. And I still remember, oh man, no book ever has ever, like left me crying like this one. Like, this is a wrecking ball. I really wish I could, read these books again for the first time, like, feel all the same feels. Like, I could simply read these books again, but it would not be, the same, because I know the story and I know the dialogues, though not by heart. I still know, like, what they're gonna feel and everything, but when I read it for the first time, oh my god, it just hit different, man. It was different. It was different, totally different. The next book I'm going to talk about is actually Divergent by Veronica Roth. I think I started the series when I was in college, but I finished it only last year. So this is the first book in the Divergent series, and this is actually a trilogy, and there is one extra novella book called Four. Four is the hero of this book. Yeah, this amazing man. When I read this book for the first time, the first book, Divergent, when I read this book for the first time, I was like totally hooked. I was totally like, into the world. I just love this world so much. So to tell you guys about this book, this actually happens in Chicago, but it's like a dystopian novel. So Chicago, the people there think they are the only ones left in the world, because there was a war happening and everything else is just destroyed. The whole world is destroyed and they are the only ones left, and they have built a fence around their city, and no one's actually allowed to go beyond the fence. So inside the fence they maintain peace by like dividing people into 5 factions. Each group honors like different values, like for example, there's Dauntless. Dauntless, they value bravery, and then there's Candor values honesty and all that. So like there are 5 factions, and the people who doesn't fit in any of these factions, they just live factionless without any faction. They don't do any work, they just do all these labor work and everything. The people who fit in more than one faction is called a divergent, and they are a threat to the society. So this was actually very thrilling and very actually like gripping and all that. I totally loved the first book, but then I came and read the second book and was like, okay. And then I started reading the third book. I couldn't even finish it. It was so damn boring, and even the movies are like that. There are 3 movies: Divergent, Insurgent and Allegiant. Divergent movie is whatever, kind of okay. Insurgent movie is bad, and Allegiant is, I don't even want to talk about it. It's that bad. But the first book, this was the book that actually made me pick up Hunger Games. I know they're not really related, but for whatever reason, when I picked up Hunger Games for the first time, it reminded me of a Divergent. I just always felt like Divergent and Hunger Games went hand in hand, but Hunger Games, all the 3 books were amazing, but Divergent, not so much. But then if you're a beginner, you will actually find it kind of gripping. You'll actually find it kind of, I don't know, motivating and all that, like to be a reader. This was actually the book that got me hooked into dystopian. Like I started reading a lot of dystopian after this, so maybe for that reason, I guess, I don't know actually, but for whatever reason this book is kind of close to my heart. Even this I have read like what, 3, 4, 5 times, I guess. Only the first book, because as I said, the first book is really good. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This book, there are always these things you see on the internet, like like what is the one book that you would recommend to people that you meet in your life. Like Every time someone asks me that question, the first book that comes to my mind is Perks of Being a Wallflower, because I don't know, this book is very close to my heart. To tell you guys about this book is about a boy named Charlie, and that is this one. This book is all about him. But this book, is written in a very nice, peculiar format. This whole book is from Charlie's point of view. Like, he writes these letters to his friend, like his unnamed friend. Like, we don't really get to know a lot about that friend. Like, we don't get to see anything from his point of view, or we don't get a name. We see the whole story from Charlie's eyes, and oh my god, this is a very deep story. Like, I love the story so much. So he is like this very introverted, very shy kind of person. He just observes everything and everyone and like that, so he's like that. And he meets two people, when he goes to school, and from that point his life takes a turn, and these two people, they become very important to him, and even he becomes very important to them, and all of their lives take a turn from them. They learn a lot from each other, and I'm telling you, there's a lot to learn from this book. This won't leave you crying so much, this won't leave you go crazy and all. It's just that this book will leave you thinking a lot. Like, this book left me thinking a lot. Oh my god, I had all these, I don't know, weird thoughts, after reading this book. Like, in a good or bad way, I don't know. I actually have a lot to say about this book, but I don't know what to say about this book. If you ask me, everyone should read this book, especially teenagers. Like, there's a lot for them to learn from this book. It's not about geography, it's not about English, it's about life. This book is only, what, 200 pages, I guess, 200 pages, but there's a lot between these pages, and this book should be discussed in every school and college. Trust me, every teenager, every adolescent should read this book. This book has a lot of potential, but I still think this book needs to be explored by a lot of people. I don't have the book, so I'm just gonna insert a picture somewhere on the screen. So the last book I'm going to talk about is A Court of Thorns and Roses. This is a series that I've talked about a lot of times on this channel already, but still let me talk about it one more time, because oh my god, this is a wonderful series written by Sarojay Maas. So I read the series last year, and this series is a retelling of the Beauty and the Beast, the fairy tale. I mean, that is where it starts, but then it goes somewhere else, and blah, blah, blah. So I still remember the feeling, when I read this book for the first time. And now Sarojay Maas continues to write the series. 5 books are already out. The 6th book is coming out, I think, next year or the one after, I'm not sure. But oh my goodness, I was so hooked when I read this book for the first time. I was like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What? Why? Oh my god, why? This is literally what I was doing when I was reading this series for the first time. I was totally going crazy. I love the series, the plot, the characters, the stories, the writing. Oh my god. Again, Sarojay Maas has, I don't know, she has a gift of bringing words to life. I mean, yeah, bringing words to life. So it's like, if you're someone who loves fantasy, if you're someone who is just a beginner, when it comes to reading or the fantasy genre, if you're someone who's just starting to, what is this called, read, who's just starting to read, trust me, this is a wonderful place. This is a wonderful place. And if you're someone who loves romance, just pick it up, please. But if you're thinking of reading this book at all, you should know that the second book is kind of a little bit steamy. Well, actually very steamy. The second book is kind of a lot of steamy. It's so hot. So yeah, there are a lot of stuffs happening there. So yeah, beware the steams, I guess. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to smash that like button and share this video with your friends, family members, anyone who you think might like this content. I'll see you very soon. Until then, please take care, stay safe, keep spreading love, and please don't forget to love yourself. Love yourself. You're worth it. L'Oreal, you're worth it. Is that L'Oreal? Whatever. I shall see you very soon. Bye.